Today we are making a copycat vegan version of the KFC bowl. This one is perfect to get rid of those Thanksgiving leftovers or as a quick weeknight meal. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Tiffany and this is my vegan Aloha kitchen. This recipe is a part of my YouTube series where I take popular food and veganize it, making it simply and affordably at home. I have made the field roast stuffed turkey, a chow cheese, and I'm even working on a Beyond Meat recipe that will be coming in the following weeks. I give gluten-free options and substitutions for most of my recipes, so click that subscription button and also sign up for my weekly newsletter to get all of my new recipes and content, and let's get started. For this recipe, I'm starting by using some leftover mashed potatoes. I made mine using 1 pound of red potatoes. It's important to make sure you get starchy potatoes like a rustic, gold, or red. This will make the fluffiest mashed potatoes. Feel free to peel or leave your clean skins on. After these are peeled, cut them into 1-inch cubes and transfer to a large pot of cold water. This will keep them from oxidizing. Bring to a boil, then cook over medium heat for 15 to 20 minutes or until the potatoes are fork tender. Mash the potatoes using a potato masher or fork. I also just learned that a potato ricer will help make the fluffiest mashed potatoes. I have one coming from Amazon and will put a link to the one I'm ordering in the description box below. Mash the potatoes, then add 2 tablespoons of melted vegan butter and 2 cloves of crushed garlic. Pour in a 1/4 cup of warm vegan milk, then add salt and pepper to taste. You can also sub in vegan sour cream or cream cheese instead of using the milk. I'm using a hand mixer to beat until fluffy. It has to be said here, make sure you don't use a blender for this recipe. The potatoes will become overly starchy and gooey instead of light and fluffy. When you have the consistency you want, have a little taste and adjust the salt and pepper as needed, then set aside. To make the popcorn chicken, I'm actually going to be using some leftover gluten-free turkey I made a couple of weeks ago on the channel. I have many vegan chicken recipes there, so I'll link those in the comment and description box below. The real star of the show here is going to be the breading and spice mix. It's the same spice mix used by KFC and it makes the best vegan fried chicken. To make the breading, mix together 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm using gluten-free, 3 tablespoons of paprika, 2 tablespoons of ground white pepper, 1 tablespoon of ground black pepper, 2 tablespoons of garlic salt, 1 tablespoon of dried mustard, a 1/2 tablespoon of thyme and basil, and 1 tablespoon of celery salt. You can use any of the spices that you have on hand, but make sure you don't skip the pepper and the celery salt here. These are 2 ingredients that really kick up the flavor. Next, add in 1 cup of breadcrumbs. Again, I'm using gluten-free and mix to combine. Then set aside. Next, in a separate bowl, combine 1 cup of plant-based milk with 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, mixing and allowing this to blend for about 5 minutes. This will make a nice buttermilk. Next, add in 3 tablespoons of the bean reserve from a can of chickpeas. This is called aquafaba and will act as our egg replacer. Then slowly whisk in the cornstarch to help thicken and bind. Lay out the buttermilk mixture and the spice blend. Then place the cutlets in the flour and then into the buttermilk and repeat until completely coated. Repeat the process with the rest of your cutlets. If you have any extra flour and buttermilk mix, you can stir them together and make a super fluffy hush puppy. Just spoon into balls and cook alongside the cutlets. They need about 5 more minutes in the air fryer and make a great addition to this dish. I'm cooking mine in the air fryer for 370 degrees for about 10 minutes. Then flipping the pieces over and cooking for another 5 minutes. Alternatively, these can be fried fast food style by adding olive or peanut oil in a high-sided frying pan over medium heat. Fry the pieces for around 2 to 3 minutes on each side or until completely golden. The beauty of the air fryer is I can actually make my gravy while these are cooking. I'm using brown gravy and just adding in hot water. This one is completely vegan. I'll throw the link below in the comments and description box. I'll also put the homemade recipe down there for those who want to make their own. It's almost time to assemble. Just heat up your corn in the microwave or on the stovetop. Then to assemble, layer the potatoes, gravy, corn, chicken pieces, and then top with your shredded cheddar cheese. I'm actually using my homemade provolone for this one, but you can use any store-bought brand or check out my recipes linked below. You can also omit this completely and use carrots to simulate the cheese. Add on a little more gravy and enjoy. Honestly, you can add any leftovers to this bowl and it will be delicious. If you make this recipe, make sure to share it with me on Facebook or Instagram at Vegan Aloha Kitchen. The printable and written version of this recipe can be found in the comment and description box below, and you'll be signed up for my weekly email list where I'll send you delicious recipes each week. You guys are awesome. Mahalo for watching, and I'll see you in the kitchen.